Yeah, so I saw Fantastic Four this past weekend, and I saw Superman, and I just want to give you my thoughts on it. This video may piss off a lot of folks, and that's fine. It will surprise a lot of folks. That's fine too. But do me a big favor, hit the like button, subscribe, and share. Also, comment down there below. That helps me out with the algorithm because the algorithm sucks on YouTube today. Just really don't know what's going on with it. It does help to get more engagement. And the last video I did got a lot of engagement. I like that. I want to keep it roll. Excuse me, tongue tie. Keep it going. So, as the title states, why the Fantastic Four is better than James Gunn. Well, James Gunn's Superman. I don't give you my thoughts. This is my opinion. Again, some people will differ. That's fine. And some people will disagree. That's fine too. But this is my opinion. When I watched the Fantastic Four, and I had to sit on this for a while, and I'm watching the Fantastic Four. The title gave me what I was looking for, the Fantastic Four. Done right. You know, I think Tim's story was close. A lot more with the second one than the first one. But this is the best interpretations we've gotten of the Fantastic Four. And I was pleasantly surprised with the movie. I enjoyed the movie. I'm not a fan of the casting choices, but it worked. Everybody did their part. The best cast in Fantastic Four was arguably was not Pascal. I still think Pascal does not look like Reed Richards. Vanessa Kirby. I think Vanessa Kirby brought Sue Storm to life, and she did a great job with that. Galactus was perfect. There were certain scenes were questionable, but again, it's fine. It is what it is. But my point is, when I watched the Fantastic Four, I got the Fantastic Four. The 1960 retro look, futuristic look, it worked. Makes the film stand on his own 2 feet. It looks different from any other superhero film we've seen thus far this year, and even last year, even Deadpool, Wolverine, to a certain extent. Yeah, I mean, there's not too many complaints with that, but again, you hear what I'm saying. It's the Fantastic Four. I'm not getting Iron Man. I'm not getting all these other characters. I'm getting the Fantastic Four. And it was focusing on the Fantastic Four, also with the Silver Surfer and Galactus. On the Superman side of things, we don't get a lot of Superman. We get a lot of other characters in between the scenes of Superman. And it's not really a focal point of Superman, Lois, and Lex Luthor. Then people will say, well, they were trying to establish a universe. That's fine and dandy. But again, you need to establish Superman because this is a new iteration and a new version we're getting. Because we've never seen David Corn Sweat put the cape on. We've never seen Rachel Boston, I believe, or Rachel B. I don't know what's her name, as Lois Lane. We have not seen these actors play these characters yet. So you have to do a good enough a job to develop these characters. Now, again, I had a conversation with one of my friends, and they said that the Fantastic Four was a slower burn than Superman. That's fine for me because, again, I need to get the feel of these actors playing these characters for me to enjoy this. It's one thing, and I think that's the biggest problem. If you really get down to the nitty gritty with Superman, a lot of the complaints is it's too fast. It's not slowing down. We don't get enough time with these characters. It's going so fast to the point where you're like, people are like, well, I like that. I said, that's fine. But again, these are new interpretations of these characters done by different actors. So you have to slow it down a bit so we can actually get these actors to flesh out these characters properly. Again, I don't think that's going to be done with James Gunn because he's not a bad director, but he's not a good director when it comes for those type of moments, if that makes any sense. Where this director for Fantastic Four, he did a great job with those moments. You actually feel for the family, you know. And I was like, oh, okay, pretty cool. And, you know, those type of things I look for. I don't look for a good superhero film as well. I look for a good film. And this was, Fantastic Four had both. Granted, did it have a lot of action? No. But I don't need action. I need story and development. They had that. Superman had a lot of action, but there wasn't enough story and development. By the end of it, I forgot about it. Like literally at the end of it, I don't want to see more of Superman in this world. I don't. Where the Fantastic Four, I want to see more of the Fantastic Four in their world more so than the MCU world. You get what I'm saying? And a lot of people would, like I said, a lot of people would not agree with my opinion, and that's totally fine. But I'm telling you how I felt when I saw the film. I'm telling you how I felt when I enjoyed watching it. So I would say Fantastic Four was the better film out the two. Fantastic Four, if you ask me, was the better film out of Jurassic World too. This surprised me. Like literally, I was not sitting here thinking I was sitting here thinking to myself like, I can't believe I enjoyed this film. My expectation was so damn low. They exceeded it. They really exceeded my expectation, and I gotta give credit where credit's due. They did a fantastic job with this. Surprisingly, the media is not glazing this film like they did with Superman. But they are speaking how good the film is. Some are saying this is the best film since Endgame. This is the best film since Guardians 3. That's my opinion. Volume 3. How like slow burn. It feels like a phase 1 film done right. It really does. I mean, granted, it's not perfect. But at the end of the day, there was story put in. There was effort put in. There was character development. By the end of it, I cared for the family. By the end of Superman, I care for nothing with Superman. I don't want to see Superman no more. I don't like how he was interpreted in here. I don't like the fact he didn't have a lot of development with Lois Lane. I didn't even like the fact that Superman and Lex Luthor barely had interaction. Hell, the Batman v Superman version had more interaction with Superman. Well, no, they didn't. It's about the same. You know, I might be exaggerating just a little bit. Oh, then again, too, there is the extended edition, so I don't know which version I'm going by. Regardless, they're about the same length of how their interaction was. Also, the story and the plot, and then I'm going to wrap up this video. If you made this part of the video, I applaud you. I thank you. So, in the story of Fantastic Four, they go to space. There's big world threat. Spoiler alert: Galactus said, "I'll spare your world if you give me your child." They're like, "No," and then now they got to find a way to protect the child and the world. Pretty simple, cool. In Superman, Superman gets framed. So I wouldn't say gets framed, but there's a message that gets decoded and makes Superman a public enemy of the world because eventually people are thinking that Superman here to conquer them. Now, I had to sit there and analyze that for a minute. From Jor-El and his mother. I mean, Jor-El and from Jor-El and Krypton. Now, we also have, a spoiler alert, a clone Superman, Ultraman. Wouldn't it make more sense to have Ultraman dress up as the current Superman, go around tearing up stuff, and then framing him that way? I'm just saying. Lex did all this extra stuff just to frame Superman, but you have your own clone version of him who can exactly do the same thing. But at least you have evidence because he's actually Superman. I don't know. That's just that's a plot hole there. That's like I said. It's. I mean, when you really dissect the film, and I mean you dissect the damn film, it's a problem. It's a problem like nobody else. But that's just my opinion. If you guys have not go see Fantastic Four, go check it out. It's one of the best films of the summer. You can like what you like. But I'm being honest with the film I enjoyed more. It was Fantastic Four. They both were the same time length, so it's not it was just I enjoyed it more of the character development. And as a film critic and a comic book fan, I can enjoy both. When I watched Superman, even as a comic book fan, there was problems with that. Superman's not that weak. I feel like they're trying to capture more of the Christopher Reeve Superman and not really pick up a comic book and read what Superman truly is, because you can have a balance of light and dark with Superman. You just have to figure it out. Smallville did a great job with that. Superman and Lois is a prime example of how you do Superman in modern times. They really need to check that show out. And I feel that James Gunn dismissed that show because he wasn't doing it. And it kind of, if you ask me, he should have looked at that show and see what fans liked about that show and incorporate that into the Superman. And I think everybody would have been satisfied, because the way the way Superman Lois is shot is similar to Man of Steel in a way, but the way it's written is very Superman modern take, you know? But that's my opinion. As always, like, subscribe. Peace. Have a Johnson day. Comment below. Let me know if you guys agree with me that Fantastic Four was the better film out of the two.